Hi Twin Flames, welcome to this month's reading for September. And I'm very much looking forward to share the message with you because it's like a very healing month and you will free yourself of a lot of like what was holding you back and your authenticity, and free yourself also from attachments and to kind of get closer to your relationship with God, with yourself, and therefore with your twin flame. So the first card for the overlying energy for September is the 7th chakra, the crown chakra with Archangel Uriel. So it's kind of like also maybe realizing you're the king, you're the queen, like in your life together with God, right? God wants you to shine your light and to know who you are, like as God's child, so to speak, and to come into your strength and shining your light, basically. And the next card is already related to the energy. They seem kind of like similar, right? From the energies, she's kind of like humble, but she is kind of tied up with ropes. So it's about freeing yourself from everything, and it's in truth like ourselves, where we are kind of like sabotaging ourselves, where we don't allow ourselves to be free, where we think we have to do certain things or to please other people, for example. And God wants to help you to let go of all these attachments, right? Normally it says attachments, but to let go of the masks and also like, again, the chains, and to free yourself from everything that is holding you back to be your true, authentic self, and to basically just realize how beautiful and how perfect you are, right? Like how God created you. And every one of us is already perfect since birth, and to really like learn that, because you free yourself from everything when you do that. When somebody tells you, oh, something is wrong with you, you're not cool, or you're not this and that, and you stand up for yourself, for love, basically, for God, you kind of free yourself and your brothers and sisters, right? All the other people, when you don't allow them to pull you down, basically. And I think it's therefore a very powerful month, because it will also be reflected soon for the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. So the Divine Feminine is focusing on the mental clarity, so making choices, right, to free yourself from like all attachments, and to, for example, free yourself from control or people pleasing, and to go for what you want, right? Because when you make the choice for your twin flame union, that you are clear what you want, your twin will make the same choice. And it's also kind of around the heart chakra, right? To make the choices not just in your mind, but also in your heart, even if it says mental clarity. But when you make the choice really like in your heart, you free your consciousness, you free your mind, and you can suddenly move forward in areas where you were stuck maybe like before, or you haven't had clarity. But your feelings will also guide you to what is a new choice to make. For example, when you feel sadness or a fear coming up inside of you, to really look at that with logic, like, what am I afraid about? Or what am I sad about? And to bring like logic there, like, and to find out there's nothing to be afraid about, right? Because it only counts like what you think about yourself, and that you're only responsible for your reality, and to go for your dreams and what you really want, and to not allow others, for example, to hold you back. And so you really get aware of your power, right, in your reality. It looks kind of like the crystal ball, right, like with looking into the future. But you can choose your future now, right, what you want with your twin flame union. And the message from your Divine Masculine for the Divine Feminines, it's German, but it says like abundance, like a great abundance. A great love is already standing in front of your door. Let it in. So basically your twin flame, God, are already there with open arms, and kind of they're waiting until you are ready, right? It doesn't seem this way maybe sometimes on the outside, because it seems like, oh, your twin flame doesn't want to be with you, or whatever, there might be like a third party involved. But in truth, you are the one who are blocking love or pushing love away, or where you are not feeling ready yet, and so your twin flame doesn't feel ready yet. But the more you love yourself and you let the love flow, to allow the love to flow, the feelings you have for God, yourself, And your twin flame, you let love in because God is already opening the door and you just have in truth to say yes to it. So let go of any control basically and go out of your own way and let God, right? Allow God to bring you your twin flame because they're ready as you are, right? And for the divine masculine, the freedom and the letting go of attachments, it's showing up in letting go of urgency, right? You see a lot of schedules and time planners, and when the card is reversed, it's a good sign because then you come more into a place of peace and not feeling like a slave of your schedule. And so you make more space for your twin flame union too, to allow things to happen. Right, to stay in the now moment, to stay present with yourself, with your feelings also, right, letting go more of the mind, but like speaking and working from your heart is what I feel, because then you are in the flow with God. And of course it's good to have a schedule, but also to let go of your plan, basically, because God can sometimes have a different plan for you. And even that you have kind of the same vision, right? Because your will is one with God. But God sometimes has detours to bring you like the next puzzle piece that you need on your journey, and a surprise often that you were not expecting. And so when you make more space, like in your heart and your mind, and basically like in your schedule, especially to put God first, yourself and your twin flame union, there will something happen. And what your twin flame is kind of communicating, because the first card was like the answer is no. And I feel what this means is that you learn to say no, right, to what you don't want. To let go of this pattern of people pleasing, right? Your divine feminine is really supporting you and also saying no to maybe sometimes even clients or people you don't want to work with, or to not allow them to take advantage of you, or basically really to set boundaries also with your energy and from what others might expect of you. And you feel like God is saying no right now, right? To don't do what others expect from you, and also like with your time and with your schedule, to have like proper boundaries, like appropriate boundaries there, to really honor yourself and your time first. And only then, when you feel like and you fill your cup up, right, it's body, mind and soul, then everything can flow again. And you're not loving others when you don't put yourself first. So this no is always a yes to yourself. And I think that is what your woman is encouraging you to do. When you say no to something else, you always say yes to yourself too. And the next card, it's like a second card from your divine feminine. Only love will free you. Let go of everything old, so that a new love can come into your life. Wow. So it's kind of like this surrendered state, right? It's the divine feminine, but also it counts for you as the divine masculine, to kind of surrender to God, to let go of everything what doesn't serve you anymore. It might even be like a relationship, or kind of like an attachment that you were holding on to, like dependency, maybe even on, it can be even clients, or that they would be your source of income, but God is, right? Or also like in other relationships, because God wants you to not have codependency in relationships, but to feel free in it. So this all tied up card, I feel is coming in for that too. So that you always feel free in relationships, and that you just do what feels good to you, because only you know what is good for you and not somebody else, for example. And that you feel like accepted for who you really are, because not only your twin flame, but also the people who are meant to be in your life, were sent to you by God, they accept you unconditionally and they support you on your journey, and you deserve that. And if somebody doesn't accept you or wants you to change, and you don't have to do that, right? It's kind of this no, like either you love me or you don't, right? Because you're not there to be the source for somebody else or to please them. It's not your job. You're not born to please other people, but God and yourself. And so by freeing yourself from the opinions also of others, you free them too, right? So they learn from you, oh, I'm allowed to free myself too. And so never diminish yourself or to please someone, to have a relationship with them. That's not what God wants. That's not what love is, basically. So I think that's the lesson overall, especially for the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine. And you are supporting each other, therefore believing in yourself and making the right and healthy choices for your Twin Flame Union. And the closing energy is like first also like a chakra, right? At first it was the 7th chakra and now it's the 6th chakra. It's like the third eye chakra, the vision. I feel like for your future, and also maybe to feel into like with the mental clarity too, like what you really want and with your schedule and how to put yourself first in your life. Because when you don't have time in your schedule for your twin flame, right, for your union basically, like for romance, how can it happen, right? So really make that a priority and you will have so much more joy and energy and passion for everything else in your life, right? You will receive a lot of energy back. So it's Archangel Metatron. And so really like focus and make, for example, a love list and write down what your goals are for September maybe, what you want to focus on. And the result of that is the Angel of Love. Ooh, I love that. So she is focused on the heart, right? Also on her feelings. And she looks a bit down and it looks a bit shy, but I feel really it has to do with like going within. It's kind of like all the women's have kind of this looking down a bit, right? But at the same time, the energy is like going within, because only there you find the answers and the love, right? The love is not coming from outside of you, but your source is within. Of course, God is through everything also around you, but it's just a reflection of your inner reality, because the true reality is in your heart. And so when you envision, and also like with this chakra, with the envision, the inner reality and what you really want and how you feel, for example, about yourself, your twin flame, feeling hugged by God, feeling safe in your union, you can make the choice, for example, that your inner world is being reflected on the outside. And that will happen naturally, like more and more, the more you focus on the inner and your feelings and your heart. Because that's kind of the biggest manifestation, your heart chakra. So kind of like a lot of chakras are involved. And yeah, romance is coming as a result of that. Because freedom, like when you choose freedom, your twin flame is the person you can be the most free with in your life. With every other relationship or person, you have to make compromises. You cannot be all of yourself. And maybe you're already so used to not express yourself like everything of you, because you already know when you share this and that, the other person will react this and this way. But with your twin flame, you're always appreciated for all of yourself, for expressing even your anger or all the feelings coming up, and they have compassion for you and support you to be all of yourself, because nobody can meet you within like your twin flame. So you're such a loving person, and your twin flame loves you for that. You're never too much, basically, right? So allow the love to flow, allow that to happen, even if it was not possible in other relationships. And I'm looking forward to a lot of romance. And when you also you deserve it, of course, but if you desire coaching or personal support on your journey, I would love to. I have like in the link below in the box, my website where you can book your first coaching session with me. And I would love to get to know you and to support your union. And that's my passion. That's what my life purpose is. And I'm so happy to see other clients blossom and to help them with their twin flame and on their journey. And it's for everybody. And we don't have to do it alone, right? You are allowed to have your spirit guide, so to speak. And yeah, just reach out. And I'm looking forward to get to know you. So take good care, twin flames. Have a great month and see you very soon.